The views and opinions expressed by guests and or comments are those of the persons who submitted them and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of In the Clutch Sports Talk and More podcasts. Any content provided by guests are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company of any individual or anyone or anything. You are tuned in to Real Talk, where if it ain't real, we don't talk about it. The topics are never ending, so if you're ready for some real talk, you're in the right place. Can't wait to hear what the crew got to say this week. Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is the 1500 edition of Real Talk. As usual, our favorite person, Patricia, logged in and already got a comment saying, "Hey, Mr. T, and I hate to inform you that Terry had some obligations with his new job and he will not be joining us tonight, but not to worry, we got a replacement." I am your host, D. Early. I am joined by Shownuff Sharita.
What's up, y'all? Hey, Miss Patricia.
And filling in for T. Wheel is Miss Justine Word.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, we're gonna get one more person in here, and we're gonna go ahead and kick this thing off. I know it's gonna be interesting. I know it's gonna be a little controversial, but that's what we're here for. Real talk. Okay.
So enough.
We got 5 people in here. We can go ahead and get started. The show today is centered around, well, one of the topics is centered around the murder of conservative Charlie Kirk. And let me start off by saying we on this show do not condone violence. We do not condone his death. We do not celebrate his death. And we're saying that we still say, let us handle it the way that we feel fit to handle it in a respectable way. But let's not sugarcoat it and act like he was a perfect person. Sarita, did you want to start off with something?
No. I will. No, I better wait. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna
You
let
gonna
you
wait?
take. Let me get myself together.
I I know it's hard for you, show enough. Justine, you got it. You wanna enlighten us on how you feel about the situation?
Ooh, do you really want to know?
Yes, we do.
I honestly think it's just yet another ploy to get the people rattled up. And I think we've had a lot of instances over the years in terms of just say our community, the Black community. Let's just even go back to Mike Brown, that I feel it was expected that we were going to just tear everything up. And it's been one thing after another ever since. And I think this was like kind of a pivot to get a whole nother group to just kick it all off. That's just my opinion. It's unfortunate. To my understanding, Mr. Kirk, his stance was changing on a few things he had publicly spoken out against, particularly like, for example, the list. You know what I mean? And it's just unfortunate that humanity is where we are right now. That's really, my stance on it. I didn't agree with the guy most of the time, but I do see how his words are often twisted, because people are listening with their emotions rather than what is actually being said. But still didn't mean I agree. He was young. I'm around younger people that's a little on the ignorant side all the time. And so I think the consequences for his ignorance were just much greater, unfortunately.
Well, here's what I'm gonna add to what you said because some of his viewpoints were starting to change. Uh, you made reference to the list, the Epstein list, and all of that. Uh, and sure enough, know how I feel about Israel.
Yeah.
And I think, and I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but I think when he turned and started criticizing Israel, I think he set himself up for failure. Uh, for whatever reason, he had a strong political voice for Republicans, and I think him, kind of questioning, why are we showing so much support for Israel? It's like, is it America first or is it Israel first? Now, if you look at what's been said or what's been going on with the shooting and the escape and the, the weapon was
Assembled
fully
and
assembled, disassembled, reassembled, and I mean it's a lot that you could say. Some of that don't make sense, but since we don't know all the facts, I'm not gonna try to get anything stirred up. Uh, but I agree with you, and I have to say this: when I first, you looking on the internet, so you run into stuff. I never looked up Charlie Kirk uh to listen to his speeches or listen to anything he said. I just ran into him on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. And every time I ran into him, I just didn't agree with any of the things that he was saying. And he championed being a Christian and fair play for everybody. And but if you just really listen to it, you could tell it was more of, and it's just my opinion. It was more so he was saying that white people are a little more superior than any other race, and that's what I got from all his
Hmm.
comments and speeches and stuff. Uh, so if y'all want to comment on that, feel free. Go ahead.
I'll I'll just put in this little notion. I think, and I don't know if it was on his part. I don't know if it was management or what, but I feel like a lot of stuff he said was so controlled because he could have said more. Um, and it's almost as if his stands often put people in a position to take a side, even just without having clarity, about things. Because he could have said, hey, hey, black person, you're capable of doing anything that any white person could do, but he never came from that angle. And that's the portion that just makes me look at him as somebody who really was kind of pushing a narrative, if you will.
Show enough. I know you want to say something. Go
I'm
ahead. Say
ready.
it.
I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready. I was just trying to collect my words because I do want to be respectful, but you know me, and the way I feel about the divisiveness and the racist rhetoric that he spread. I didn't agree with the fact that he went to college, predominantly white college campuses. Because why? You have impressionable children who are finding their way. And he knew that he could find his base there. Well, no, he could create his base there because I think that that was what he was doing. Because I mean, why didn't you go to HBCUs with your rhetoric? So
Because do you think he would have been accepted at HBCUs?
actually, I do. I think he would have. I think he would. I think just like the Nazis and whomever else are given protection to come to cities and have their little rallies and be protected, I think the same way he would have been able to go to an HBCU. Now, I ain't gonna say all of them, no, but I think they would have wanted. I think some may have wanted to actually hear for themselves and see for themselves, like, is this guy really for real? Is he really saying this? And maybe pick his brain to see if what he's saying is just rhetoric or does he really believe it. So yeah, I
Mm.
think he would have been, not say per se welcomed, but allowed to come. I
I,
do.
I think he believed everything that he said, and we'll never know
He
now.
did.
But it would have been interesting if he would have went on an HBCU tour and debated with uh but you can't even on the white campuses he did debate blacks. He didn't run from it. Most of the time, some of the stuff that he said, some of it wasn't true, some of it seemed made up. uh uh Even on some of the debates that he had, when he was on the surround thing, when he was, him against 20 debaters, some of the stuff that he was saying just was like, okay, you reaching for a statistic now that now you're just making up stuff.
Right.
uh
Yeah.
my thing is always, when you have a person that, and I don't know if he would have been as powerful with his voice if he would have been, in my opinion, more uh even keel. Not, you know, would he have been able to make the changes that he said he was trying to make for the country if he would have been even keel and possibly have more black people on his side?
Mm-mm.
No.
Because no, because I think some of the most of I wasn't just introduced to him lately. I've been, not following him, but I've known about him for a very long time. There was he was saying that black women, I mean, we were in essence, dumb, not capable. Um, his thing and I seen him say this to impressionable young white women, that they shouldn't even go to college. They should just focus on being wives and having babies. So no, I don't think he definitely would not have gotten uh support from black people not spouting that. Now, if you said, like you said, if he was, I, okay, tell me, give me something that you think that he was trying to change that would have affected both. And we're just gonna say black and white. We know it's other races, but that would have affected both races in a positive way.
I'm gonna let you take it, Justine, and then I give you my opinion.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna say with the rhetoric he had, I don't think it would have been possible. He would have had to really get real. I think, his debates with the college students, they used to kind of frustrate me because the students were really often showing their inexperience, with just life in general. And it was kind of, I don't want to, for lack of a better term, it was like an unfair. It was already kind of in his favor whether he was right or wrong, because a lot of the people got up there not really knowing what questions to ask. And when it comes to debate, you really got to know how to frame those questions. You got to be able to spot a bait and switch really quick. You got to really be able to, that takes some experience. And I don't think he would have been able to pull it off. I would say if he moved from just using your example, Sharita, of him saying that white women, quote unquote, um, should just get married and have babies. If he had went more into a real direction and talked about how it's in kind of open secret that white women are sent to college to find husbands. I mean, this is why you see a lot of white women attached to their professional athlete man, because compared to black women, when we're in college, our parents are telling us to get that workout. We paying for your school. We taking out these loans. Don't you be in? Don't you play around with it? We're trying to get those grades. Whereas on the other hand, and I've witnessed this, not knocking anybody, but white women are at the field house waiting on the athletes to get out of practice, offering to do their homework and do whatever it is they need to do. And then black women are looked at as like kind of a less desirable bunch because of that. So it's like if he had went more into a real direction with it, I think blacks could have definitely latched on. But trying to, I gotta give it to us. Our black community isn't perfect or whatever, but you can't just pull the wool over our eyes as much as they would like you to think. I mean, social media have you thinking otherwise. Mass media will have you thinking otherwise. But you can't just tell us, you can't, as they say, you can't pee on me and tell me it's raining. You know what I mean? So with the
Absolutely.
current rhetoric that he was doing, I don't think he could have latched on. And going back to what one of you all's question was, if he could have went to HBCUs, as Sharita stated, he could have. I believe there would have been a solid group of students who would have stuck it to him. And he would have had to change the whole brand of his tour to prove me wrong.
Right.
But there are those kids in the back who ready to show out and act a fool over something he said, and now you have a riot, and now they're painting that HBCU all over the news in a negative light just because some angry kids, who are young and full of emotion and hormones acting out. So, that's my opinion on that.
Yeah. So the way that I look at it is this. His thing was, I'm willing to debate you, prove me wrong. Now, I'll say this, that's a good concept to have if you're willing to
Mm-hmm.
accept the fact that you might not be right on everything that you're saying. So if we can debate and I can make a point that's valid and you can accept it, that's a proper debate. But for you
There you
to,
go.
even when I give you a good reason or give you a good statistic or whatever, you find a way to shut it down or to say that's not right or make it something else. That's not good dialect. Like, I have a conversation with a person, we can disagree, they'll say something, and Sharita, we talk about this all the time. We say things like, you know what, I never really looked at it that way,
Right.
and it'll make me, it's not going to change my whole perspective, but it'll make me kind of think about things in a different light. So, and all these ifs don't mean nothing now, and I understand that. But if he would have done that, as far as going to HBCUs and having real debating and dialect between different races, because, and I don't even know if we can do that, to be honest. I don't know if we could do that in the society that we live in today. And and to take it even a step further, and I know I'm a little bit off topic right now, but to take it even a step further, it's not even about whites, blacks, Latinos, Mexicans. It's not even about that. What's happening now is that wealthy people, when I say wealthy, I mean billionaires, people who up there, they're basically controlling everything that's going on. And the best way for them to control us is to keep us at each other's throat.
Absolutely.
So so we have to be cognizant of those things and realize that, they really setting us up to fail, and they're laughing all the way, technically they're laughing all the way to the bank
Absolutely.
based on us. That's whites and blacks. If we ever could come together and realize that we could make some change. And was my favorite thing, Sharita. What I always say, blow the whole thing up and start over.
And start all over. Burn it down
Let's
and start all over.
Why is it so different when someone kills a white person than any other race? The same degree that they're placing on the murderer of Charlie Kirk be standing for everyone who kills somebody. That's the divide. That's the divide.
It's by
I mean,
design.
yeah. I mean, we had just today, we had two black men found hung from a tree in Mississippi, and where was the other place? Uh, was it Alabama? Where was it?
I want to say it was Alabama. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, and why isn't that splattered all across the news? We don't want that narrative, just like we don't want slavery. We don't want to talk about slavery, how bad it was, and everybody knows a part of that thing that went on back then was lynching. So, but I think I answered your question. Okay, for those who haven't heard some of the things that Mr. Kirk said, just for your educational purposes, I'm gonna play this clip and we'll come back and we'll kind of discuss it, and then we'll move on to some more topics centered around him.
Comparing abortion to the Holocaust.
Absolutely, I am. In fact, it's worse. It's worse. Were these blacks trying to go rob her happening all the time in urban America? Prowling blacks go around for fun to go target white people. That's a fact. Black crime is a major issue in our country. Why are you pushing criminal justice reform exactly? Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Why is that?
So I'm sorry, are you trying to say that blacks thrive under subjugation?
No, I'm not. I'm saying I'm asking you the question. The data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed.
See, it's that last part that really gets under my skin.
Yeah.
And you see how he tried to turn it around to like ask you the question. No, you made the statement. You answer the question.
Right.
Yeah, it's your job to back it up. I would like to make a statement on some of that, and I'll just start with the last one. The reason why I don't respect his stance there is just because he didn't really go into why. And that's why that goes back to what I said about his message being so controlled. Like, because why don't you say that? Because the war moved from physical subjugation to mental subjugation. Because that's why. I mean, it is true. Blacks were economically better off back then, but I'm not sure if he was trying to say as a result of slavery or if he's just saying during that time, as in, like there's a correlation. But the war entered our minds at a certain point, and that's why I do believe that we are worse off. Like, we are more like crabs in a barrel now. Compared to then, education attainment proportionately was better back then, even though they were, barred from even learning to read, not many years before. But the moment that, blacks were given these, or allowed these opportunities, I don't even like looking at it like that, because when it comes to the racist, quote unquote, you're nothing to me. You can't upset me. You can say what you want. You can say I'm less, fine, whatever. You still you are no factor to how far I go, what I do, and all of that. So I'm just not one of those people who would give a racist power like that. In terms of all the affirmative action talk, he fails to acknowledge the fact that under affirmative action, you're still required to be qualified. And I think that's just his ignorance once again. Some of those look like, I'm sorry.
Nah, he knew. They all know. They all know.
And a part of me felt like he could have just actually been a little ignorant, like, and that could happen to any of us when we're given a voice before we actually take the time to understand these things. Because, yes, he's from a suburb of Chicago, but were you actually in the Chicago streets, in the urban areas, identifying at all with those people to be able to go out and speak about, what's in our brains and all of that stuff like that. So it's just, I think he was being used, he was being puppeteered, and it's unfortunate. It really is, y'all.
Let me read Thomas's statement. You guys are casting a negative aspersion through statements out of context. Why is it that every time the state racist, obvious racist, or whatever statements are made is being taken out of context? Why is that always the excuse? Why isn't the words that came out of his mouth the words that he meant? It is what it is, people. I'm not understanding, because why can his words be taken out of context, but when a young man is walking home with some Skittles and a tea in his hand with a hoodie on because it was raining, he wasn't he wasn't taken out of context. He was this because this is what you thought he was. So the taken out of context, y'all can keep that. Take that somewhere else, because it doesn't make any sense. Just say that you want to align yourself or agree with what that person said, because that's just what it is. What he said was racist. What he said was misogynistic. And that's just the bottom line. There is no what did he say before? Oh, what did he say after? Play the whole clip. You see the clips and you see it the same way that we do. And I'm talking to the people, to the listeners. You see it just like we do. So you go see what he said before, and you go see what he said after, and you know what he meant. You know what he meant. Don't try to gaslight us because we understood what he said and you don't want to understand what he said. The taking out of context thing, that's over. Try something else.
I mean, when you this stuff be so funny to me sometimes. When you start talking about, okay, why were we better off when we had less? We were better off because we was to ourselves. And we were striving and doing good all by ourselves. We didn't have a reason to go out and commit crime and do all these other things. Now you start saying, okay, you build up Black Wall Street, they tear it down. That kind of starts off okay, what are we supposed to do? You didn't want to have anything else to do with us. So we went on our own and we built these communities for us, by us. And you see us prospering too much and you destroy it. So what do you think is going to happen after that? There's nothing good going to happen after that. Thomas, I'm going to put the number up so that you can call in. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And I'm gonna give you the standard 2 to 3 minutes to relay your point, because I want to make sure we keep moving. But we're gonna play this commercial break. When we come back from the commercial break, I'll put the phone number up for you to give us a call in. Ted ain't here. Guess what? We ain't playing your commercial. Play my home girl. We ain't played hers in a while. Hold on.
When it comes to buying or selling real estate, the right agent can make all the difference. Choosing the right partner means less stress, smarter decisions, and a better outcome. Here are 5 reasons why Tanya is a professional you can trust to guide you through your real estate journey. Local expertise you can count on. Personalized approach, proven track record of success, cutting-edge marketing strategies, and dedicated support every step of the way. Real estate transaction can be complex, but she is here to guide you through every detail, from the first consultation to the closing table. Tanya can provide clear communication, expert advice, and unwavering support to ensure your success. Ready to take the next step? Let's make that real estate goal a reality. Call her today at 901-870-5337 to schedule a consultation.
Tanya Covington, that's our home girl. You can reach her at 901-870-5337. She is licensed in Tennessee and Mississippi. All your home needs, she got you covered. Okay. Let me go back to the comments. Let me see. Got a lot of comments from Thomas. Got a lot of comments from Randolph. Yeah, let me put this one up since Thomas probably finna call in. What about the summer of 1919 when they destroyed all Black dominant communities and Black businesses to systematically stop the process of Blacks succeeding and becoming self-sufficient enough not to depend upon the government? I mean, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what leads to all of the things that come after that. I mean, I don't know how to better explain it than, it's you systematically tear people down, and I mean, what do you expect to happen? I don't condone violence, but it all this reminds me of what we're seeing today in Gaza. The first thing Israel says is Hamas. Okay, yeah, Hamas does some bad things, but why do they do the bad things that they do? A whole nother people came in and displaced them from their homes, stole their land, basically occupied their country, and took it over. And they're definitely committing a genocide right now. They're definitely trying to ethically cleanse the Gaza Strip for them. Yeah, you telling these people you about to bomb them, but and they need to leave and go where? So it's kind of like when you do all these bad things to Blacks, and then you say, hey, why you acting the way that you're acting? Thomas, you got the phone number? I definitely I'm glad you tuned in first off, and I definitely want to hear your input. The number is scrolling across the screen.
And let me say this too. Because I was having a conversation with some friends, about back in the day. Like, let's just say, for instance, when I've been in healthcare for 20, 25 years. And back when we were making, $7.50 an hour, it seemed like we had more than we ever had that we have now. It seemed like we just we were we had more, because it was to the point where sometimes we would get paychecks and hadn't even cashed the last one, and because we didn't need to. So because everything that we needed, our needs were met, our children's needs were met, but we had to also think about what was going on when we was making that $7.50 an hour. It was because it was a plethora of jobs available. You could work one or two jobs and be able to make your ends meet. There wasn't as much Oh, I just lost my train of thought because this man, this I can't even look over at them comments because he is.
Well,
Anyway,
inflation certainly wasn't running
thank.
past, you know,
That's where I was going.
and
That's
cost
where
of
I was
living wasn't
going.
running past, yeah,
That's where I was
everything
going.
like
Rent for a 3 bedroom was $385 a month. So yes, of course, it felt like it was better back then. But I just can't. No one will ever make me agree that raping, pillaging, uh, buck breaking, feeding babies to alligators, um, hanging people, separating children from their parents. You will never make me believe that was a better time for us. And if anybody thinks that oh well we were more together, like Daryl said, we had no choice but to be together. Now it's not to
well,
say that
you
now
know,
since they let us go and we just went wild, we just lost our mind. Why don't people ever talk about what the history of what white people have done in this country? As if they aren't the wild ones, as if they aren't the ones who they are the violent ones. They are the savages. They are the animals. And now they put that jacket on us.
Let me preface this by saying not all of them, not all of them, but
I ain't talking about all
right,
of them.
right.
right. I just
Talking
I
about
just want
all
I
of
just
them.
I
want
would
to
like to throw,
But
because people
one,
try
one
to
more
paint
one more point.
a broad brush saying that we're talking about everybody of
But one more point though, because but 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 why can't we say it's all of them? Because when they speak, and I'm talking about the evildoers, when they speak of all. If something happened to them, but by one black person, they hate all black people. So why can't we say all?
'cause I ain't gonna subscribe to that. 'Cause,
I'm
and the
not. I'm
reason,
not. I'm just saying. I'm not. I'm still not saying it is all. But come on.
yeah,
Why are we
I,
to always take the high road? Why are we to always be the ones to mend the fence?
because we're the kings and queens of the world.
And that's why we're in the position we're in right now.
It won't last long.
Oh,
Go ahead.
that's what they said that 100 years ago. They've been saying that in the church for 200 years.
The Anunnaki right around the corner, Riri.
I
Go
wanted to
ahead.
just add too that my stepdad was born in 1932 and he passed in 2020. I learned a lot more about history, just even, where I'm from in Arkansas, the Arkansas Delta. I grew up right near Elaine, where the Elaine massacre happened in 1919. And I honestly learned a lot more from talking to him, that really helped steer me to look for certain things. Because one thing I do know about the internet, it kind of feeds you what you want in a sense, even down the algorithms on Facebook. It's going to show you things that, is unique to you and that could get some type of reaction out of you, because that's how people are getting paid on there, is by activity. But I learned that, thanks to my high school history and civics teacher, Bobby Flanagan, who was a white Irish of descent man, who told us, um, all of this is BS in these books, and you owe it to yourselves to go learn your true history. And I was in 11th grade, and I was just like, what? And, me and my classmates are looking at each other like, what is he talking about? But fast forward some years, I realized that, even through research that I was directed through my stepdad before he passed, we were actually a lot better off than what they would like us to know. I think a part of this whole information of highlighting the worst of the worst, even slave owners and stuff like that, is just another thing to get us thinking in our minds that we are less than what we really are. My stepdad's father owned his own land, and he was born, I know his mom was born in 1913. I know his dad was born in like the late 1860s or something like that. he was an older man. And
Stand
then
up,
I learned that
Tip.
my grandmother was a nurse. You know, my great grandmother rather was a nurse, and it's things like that you will automatically assume. My generation will automatically assume that, oh, we were just all, you know, under all this weight, and we couldn't do anything, when really, like, yes, it was bad for some, you know, it was bad for some Black people, don't get it twisted, but the large majority of us, believe it or not, actually were owners. We were actually self-sufficient. Back then, of course, the family unit was interdependent. So we weren't dependent on jobs to provide people. We were dependent on each other. You know, the
Hold
girls
on.
and the mothers went out.
Hold on one quick second, Justine. We got a caller. Hold your thought.
Mhm.
We got a caller.
Okay.
We'll get the callers. Mr. Carpenter, go ahead. How you doing this evening?
Hey, how you guys doing? You're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. We ain't forgot.
appreciate
We had this. We wanted to bring you and Kirkwood on this week, but we had this hot topic. We had to jump on it, but
I know, and it's a wonderful topic. I want to tell y'all that history has a way of repeating itself. I gave you guys 1919, you know, Wall Street, you know, Rosewood, Florida, and all over the United States where Black people were prosperous. They had to stop that, because if this thing catch on, we're in trouble. And history has a way of repeating itself, and we see it even today with the Hispanics. The same thing, the Hispanics are living their quote-unquote American dream. They buying homes and fixing them up, and they working cohesively together. They got their own businesses, and they doing the doggone thing. And these people look at it as a threat. And their biggest fear is becoming a minority. And they see the Hispanics growing. Have y'all ever noticed how these teams get their name, like the San Francisco 49ers?
Absolutely.
Y'all remember the Hispanics was in California, Texas, Arizona, and all those places. You kick somebody out of their own country and call them illegal. You guys are a result of, and I'm not being a racist, because other races treat me better than my own kind. And if we want to be truthful about it, sometimes we're the biggest races on God's green earth. But I will tell you this much. These people are 10 generations, whatever they are, Irish, Polish, German, whatever. And their folks came over here without documentation. So how in the amen you're going to say somebody is illegal? How are you going to kick somebody out of their own land and declare them illegal? When was America great again? Was America great when you guys came over here and you couldn't survive the first winter, and the inhabitants of the land showed you how to irrigate land and plant crops? Was America great then? Was America great after they showed you that? You took their land, put them on reservations, brought us over here, changed our religion, changed our culture, changed everything about us, and you brainwashed us into Western ideology.
Mm-hmm.
Was America great then? Was America great during the time when we were segregated? When I couldn't drink out of the same water fountain you did? Or I couldn't go in places to eat that you couldn't? That you could, rather? Was America great again? What about the civil rights movement? When you had people saying that we are humans, when we were declared less than 10% human, and you turned dogs on us. You did fire hoses. Was America great again? What about when they integrated schools? And I was a product of that. And Daryl, as you know, that Treadwell's history was predominantly white. It was all white, and they started busting us over to white schools and stuff. And we was told that we didn't belong. You know what I'm saying? When was America great? In what era was America great?
Well, you got to think about it. It was great for somebody.
For them. It was great for them.
It was great for somebody. Maybe not
but
everybody.
The thing is, but you see the same thing happening today to our Hispanic brothers and sisters. They feel threatened by them. As I said earlier, the Hispanics, I'm not saying they're the only one, but they're living the American dream, quote unquote. Blacks are doing just as good as white people. And now you got Hispanics doing just as good as both of us. That's a threat. And I'm going to give y'all something. I'm going to get off this line because I know y'all got other people.
Yeah,
Muammar Gaddafi, Hussein, and all those other guys. Do you know what they were really taking out? And I hope this don't pull the plug on your shoulder.
Oh, I know why.
They were taken. See, we got to tell the truth. They were taken out because they were trying to unionize all the other African nations and Islamic nations and develop their own currency. Because they got the world by the balls. We got the oil. We got what everybody wants. For us to develop our own currency, and yes, we have the resources to back it up. We got gold, we got rubies, we got diamonds. We got it. American money ain't nothing but monopoly money.
That's it.
The dollar, the yen,
Correct.
and the euro wouldn't have the status quo as it has today. You would have to transfer the yen, the euro, and the dollar to make to equal their money, and it was going to be low. Just like when we go to Mexico, $1 is like $10 down there. They had to go. Whenever you mess with these people's money, you got to go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Randolph. Thank you so much.
Can I get one more and I'm gone?
Go ahead. Light it up.
Hey, we huff and puff about the Emancipation Proclamation. They could care less about slaves. Money was down here in the South. They were getting free labor, and y'all know that title, King Cotton. Do you really know what that means? Cotton was king. Cotton was on the same level gold was, and you're getting free labor. You're shipping it all over the world, and the South had all the money. And I'm not a racist again, y'all. I'm not a racist because other races, I get along better with them than I own my own kind. But these people fought their own people. They killed each other over that money. And then that triggered the Industrial Revolution. Now the money is up north. And they have these, what do you call those flags? A rebel flag. And we fight them on that, saying it's a symbol of hatred. But they saying this is our heritage. And they saying the South's going to rise again. And it ain't. That's all I want to say, y'all.
Hey,
Thank
I
you,
sure
Randolph.
appreciate you, Randolph. Good commentary,
Hey, I
man.
appreciate y'all. And y'all keep up the good work. I love y'all.
Love you too, man.
Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.
Now let me, because I don't want Thomas to think I'm showing favoritism. Thomas, I'm finna call you. He called twice while we was on with Randolph.
Hello?
May I speak with Thomas?
Yes, it's he.
Thomas, this is Daryl with In the Clutch, Real Talk.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
All right, man. Good to talk to you again, man.
Of course. You got the floor.
Hey, listen, the first thing I want to explain is I love black people. The problem is we do not take correction very well, and we don't take ownership. The gentleman before was bringing up some excellent points about not only the black, but the Latino community. All right. I cross over into both of them. The problem with black people is when we look at history, we can only see it through the prism of white races. But I like what the sister, I think her name was Justine, and then the caller, the gentleman that just called, said, we got to realize we did a lot of this to ourselves because we were on our way in the former half of the 20th century. It was not until we fell in love with integration that a lot of other ideas were interjected into the black community. We compromised a lot of our moral base for social and political gain, and it cost us. And so, for example, with Black Wall Street, everybody keeps crying about. If White Wall Street gets torn down tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, they're going to rebuild it. Why couldn't we rebuild it? It's because we got away from having economic knowledge as a norm in the Black community. We're also got this ghost in our head of white people, the ever-present, all-powerful white man, because we talk about him on every corner. We believe he's hiding behind the bushes, always ready to get us. We need to get that out of our thinking, especially Black Christians that are always talking about, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But then when a white man steps up, we act like we can't do nothing at all. You are not going to be able to skip over a 25% in wedlock birth rate and somehow or other politically and through governmental means fix that. We got to want to fix that ourselves. So it's time for us to come back to Jesus. It is. And what we're trying to do is serve two masters. We want to serve, because what happened in the 1960s, all that happened is a lot of communist ideas got inserted into the Black community. That's all it was. Now Black people don't even understand the advantage of living in a capitalist country. Black people do not understand the rudiments of what a constitutional republic actually is. And because of that, we are in a country that we too scared to leave, complaining about the people who designed our government. And they did better than any of our forefathers had done in Africa. The only non-contiguous Black country that's not in sub-Saharan Africa is Haiti. Everywhere we go, we make this mistake. And what I'm tired of us making ourselves the tail all the time. Why do Trayvon Martin and George Floyd and all these different people, it's always a thug, a punk, or a drunk that we use and put on our mount. No. See, I'm trying to tell you, we got better Black people than that. No. Why don't we get behind Dr. Thomas Sowell?
Why?
Okay,
explain to me. I need you to go back and with facts, tell me why you call Trayvon Martin a thug. What did he do?
It's because, they excuse me, let me just tell you. Number one, he was cutting through the community. Now, nobody should die for that. But what y'all don't do is go back and look at the forensic data. If you can get it off YouTube. It ain't got nobody talking over it, trying to jaundice your opinion one way or the other. We will not go back and objectively look at things. When I went back,
no. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you do that.
Question. I'm gonna answer your question.
I said, tell me why.
Okay, then you can disagree with what you ain't heard yet.
Why did you call him a thug?
I'm about to explain to you. Go back and look at what his conduct was. I don't call people out of their behavior.
You know what the conduct was. So tell me what it was.
You ain't got the gaslight. See, the problem is you don't really care about facts. So I understand why it gets you all emotional and stuff. But what I'm trying to tell you,
when you tell me some facts, then I'll listen. Once again,
the whole point is, how are we talking about something this? My whole point is, how are we talking about something this pervasive? And you get down into details like this.
You brought it up.
That was not the gist of what I'm talking about. See, this is the other thing that's wrong with Black folks. They cannot stay on philosophically high points. They can't stay on philosophical high points. You're just creating unnecessary disagreements.
And you're creating lies.
With the larger point that I'm bringing out.
And you are creating lies.
I didn't know you were related to Trayvon Martin. I didn't know you stayed beside him. You didn't know the boy.
This is what y'all do.
How did he steal your heart? What I'm trying to do is show you what we can do better, and you turn it into negativity.
Okay, hold on.
You're gonna have to mute him.
Hold on, Thomas. Hold on, Sarita. Let me try to put this in a way that we both can understand what's going on. The reason why she questioned you on that is because it's the same ploy that they use everywhere. They try to dehumanize the person to justify him being killed.
Listen, y'all.
Hold on.
Great point, brother. I'm with you, brother.
Okay, so what I'm saying, If you would have just
See
said
what I'm trying to tell y'all.
no. If you listen, see Thomas, we're
Won't
trying to
listen.
be respectful.
Go ahead on,
You
me.
know, so
Come on, just keep it
don't hit
concise.
me with
I'm
the
good.
same thing that you hitting us with. So what I'm saying is, you could have just said Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and left it at that, but you had
Look,
to
see what we doing.
emphasize thug. You had to emphasize
Thugs, punks, and drunks. All three now.
No.
Don't misquote me. I said thug, punks, and drunks.
Okay, but
now, it could be any one of that garden variety. What I'm trying to tell you, we got much better black people than this to get behind.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh my God!
You're worried about me calling somebody who's been dead for 10 years a name.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm trying to tell you, that's why we're part of.
No. If we're gonna have conversation, Thomas, then you have to be respectful. Then now that's just like if I would have called Charlie Kirk all kinds of names,
listen,
people would have got upset.
I'm with you, bro.
Okay, but I'm saying
I'm with you. That was a general statement. I don't think y'all get what I was trying to get at.
But you didn't.
I don't see what y'all were trying to get. I understand y'all don't see it. I understand.
No. It's not that we don't see it. You didn't have to reference.
It's that y'all are worried about. And that's what I'm trying to tell you is wrong with us. We talk in circular conversation about small things.
Okay.
When big ideas are in front of us that we need to be.
I had to cut them off again because we're trying to have a decent conversation. We made a point, and what we're saying is we can't have these conversations if you're gonna reference people as this and reference people as that, and then when we he could have easily just said Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown and left it at that. Why do you have to talk ill of these two dead boys who got killed? It's obvious that they didn't have to be killed. So when
honestly, I was just gonna say my standpoint is that it's kind of irrelevant. He wasn't doing anything that would warrant his life being taken. But I think the gentleman probably was trying to focus. Maybe could have said things in a better way. But I guess instead of us standing behind, let's just say people who are gone, and it's almost as if you're waving a banner as a reminder that white people are against us. And it's like, instead of us always getting onto that train, then why not stand behind with that same fervor, Black people who are living and really trying to push some positive things or trying to do things. I think they've kept us in a reactive state where we're always responding to the situation when we should be proactive and getting ahead and choosing what our direction and our narrative is going to be without having any regard for what a white outlet, how they, depicts us.
Right. Okay. Thomas, I'm going to bring you back on. I'm going to give you a minute to say whatever it is you want to say in this final minute. Riri, don't just let him say what he want to say this final minute. Thomas, you still there?
As long as he's saying something not crazy, no, I'm not gonna let him get on this platform and spew that mess. That's like the same way that Charlie Kirk was doing. You're coming on saying things that are not factual. You're coming on the way that they talking about.
And if it is, it's not relevant.
Man, I love y'all.
And
I love y'all.
You cannot, the way they're talking about Charlie Kirk.
Man, yes, sir. I'm still there. I love y'all so much, man.
Okay,
see, I love y'all. I love y'all, but Sister Justine just said it. She just said it. Listen, look, you guys are great. Listen.
Come on, Thomas. Give me some.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Give us some,
okay.
Thomas. You got a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying, Sister Justine just explained exactly what I was trying to show y'all. The reactive predisposition of the American Negro. That is programming. And it makes it so that we're not able to have linear conversations because we're too busy being offended. And see, they did this to the middle class white girls that with the purple hair and the white the weird colors and stuff. Look, I'm out on a college campus every day, university, watching this. They got all of us over emotional. and it destroys the ability to have conversation. So these are the claws to the crabs that are always pulling each other down. We do it conversationally before we do it physically. And what I'm trying to tell you is Black people have lost the ability to have forward-thinking dialogue. So don't y'all see, I got the good for the people. I got good. We all have to remember, if racism ended today, many Black people that we look up to would lose their job.
Okay, we'll end it
We
right
got to
there.
remember this.
Man,
Yeah.
get this thug off the phone. Get this
Thomas,
thug off
hey,
the
I'm
phone.
gonna say this. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you calling in.
I appreciate you too.
The only thing I would ask is that, you know, we try to be respectful to each other, and we try, you know, one of the things that we send out on our itineraries that we don't talk over each other. So I know you want to get your points across, and we want to get our points across, but if we over talking each other, nobody gets anything out, because the crowd, the audience can't hear what
I appreciate you,
we're
brother.
talking about. But I appreciate you, man. I hope you tune in next week too.
Hey, man, look, I gotta give it to you. I gotta get to you. I appreciate you letting me come on the show.
Man,
I mean, a lot of people don't have the bravery to do that, and I really do appreciate you.
Hey,
okay,
you can call in anytime, man. We might not agree on
hey, man,
everything.
I can boost your ratings, man.
Well,
I'm not.
Your ratings, man.
I'm not.
all right, man. You have a good one.
All right, y'all.
All
Take care. See y'all.
All right, man. This
You got
time flying so
delusions of
bad. I ain't even got half the stuff off that I wanted to get off. We got to get on this other subject. So what we're gonna do? Raymond Austin wanted to call in. Raymond, I am going to take a quick commercial break. We come back from the commercial break. If you still want to call in and comment, you can, but we're going to move on to our other subject. But even before we go to that, I did want to bring this up. Maybe this him. Hold on.
Call from
Jerome Ewing.
Jerome, you gotta cut your listening device down while you on.
Okay, I got you.
All right, what you got to say, buddy?
So yeah, I just wanted to go back to it's not that our people live in the past. It's just the past is affecting us currently. Like, it's so many times, like he said, the guy Thomas brought up, we always bring up Black Wall Street. That wasn't the only predominant black place that we had that was a strong community. I got like a list of communities right here in front of me that was burned down by, I don't want to say just white people, but majority of the white people in this country. I got a long list from the 1800s to the as early as 1940, 50, and 60. It's different. It's plenty of towns that's been burnt down that we had that were predominantly black, that had black-owned businesses, but that comes to get burnt down. They only leave the scraps for us. It's not that we are offended so easily about these quote-unquote small issues. Is that the amount, if you be pouring those drops in a bucket, that bucket's going to get full eventually. You know?
I agree with
it's
that.
so many things that happen. It's so many things that happen to us that, of course, we're going to get offended by it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't knock anybody for taking offense to it, because some things that I might not be present to because of my age, somebody in the older generation might understand that better and everything. So for me to say, you know, something is right or wrong, I for sure can't say that, but I do know the history of our country. I know the history behind what's been done to us. I know in Oklahoma, what happened there. I know in places like Atlanta, let me see, Langston, Oklahoma, Blackwell, Oklahoma, Montana, Missouri, Lincoln, Indiana, Ellerwood, Indiana, all these different places. Just a couple of names on this list. That these were black towns that were destroyed. Even Selena Village in New York, that was Central Park,
Right.
and that was destroyed.
Yeah,
that was destroyed, and that was a black town.
right. I
So
think
we've had plenty.
Yeah, I think what you and Randolph are echoing pretty much the same thing. And the thing that I have, like, I don't know how old your parents are, but I know the stories that I heard, and that's why I said when you try to say people don't like if you didn't live through it or you didn't have firsthand knowledge that people are telling you, like my dad used to tell us all the time, y'all got it so good because when
Right.
I was
Yeah,
growing up,
my dad,
yeah, when I was
58 years
growing
old.
up,
Yeah.
we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that. We didn't have, we certain days you could go to the grocery store, certain, you couldn't drink from waterfalls. There's so many things he was telling me. And we were looking at him like, man, that don't even make sense. It's hard
Right.
for us to fathom. But like you said, Jerome, you don't want to live in the past, but you don't want to forget it either. Because like Randolph
Right.
said, history tends to repeat itself.
It
If we
does.
don't know what done went on and what these people are capable of, we could find ourselves in a hurt lock. But Jerome, appreciate you calling
Yeah.
in. We got to rush off to the next subject. I know you're gonna
I
have
got
something to
you. I
say
got
about this because we're gonna talk about this National Guard and all of that. But we appreciate you calling.
you.
And
Okay,
hey,
for sure, for sure.
keep checking in with us every week, man.
Man, for sure. Now, appreciate having me now.
All right. He grew up. He was my one of my stepson's best friends. So we're gonna run this commercial right quick, and we come back. I just got one thing to go over before we jump on this National Guard thing. If I can find it, there we go.
Feeling sluggish? Struggling with recovery? Want to take your health to the next level? We have the game-changing peptides your body needs. Whether you're looking to boost energy, accelerate healing, lose weight, or optimize performance, we've got the cutting-edge solutions to help you feel unstoppable. Get extraordinary results with Show Enough Peptides for All. Call us at 731-420-5627 or email us at shownoughpeptidesforall@gmail.com. Show Enough Peptides for All products are strictly for research purposes only and are not intended for human or animal consumption. We do not provide medical advice or services. Please consult a qualified professional for any health-related concerns.
Don't forget, we are running a fall special. So give us a call.
What's that number again?
If you ain't run across that screen, you don't know that number. Don't play with me.
I ain't get it. I gotta get that to put up a banner for you.
I don't even know my mama number.
I feel you. I barely know my own number.
I press mom.
Right. One thing before we go on to the next subject is when we were talking about this Charlie Kirk thing and maybe we didn't realize his impact with the Republican Party and this current administration, but here's something that it keeps pounding in my head that you want to give this guy all these military all these a military burial flag at half mast and all of that, but when someone who was actually a sitting representative, her and her husband were killed, and it was just, I don't understand how you can not do the same thing for her, and then for our president to say, well, the governor there, he's an idiot, and I could call, but it would be a waste of time. That those are the things that separates and divides us, because whether you agree with the governor, whether you agree with anything she was saying, just out of protocol, no one should have to call and ask you to do that. Now, Charlie Kirk was murdered. This lady was assassinated. She is a sitting House of Representatives, former House Speaker. So how can you not acknowledge that? And I don't know what what our Charlie Kirk provided for the Republican Party. They said he got the young vote in, and that's what pushed them over the top, and that's fine. But to have someone that was currently serving and you not do anything special for her, no half mass, no whatever, I think that speaks volume for the administration that we have in. Okay. Y'all want to add anything to that? No? Okay. Next thing. I don't know how y'all feel. I know we talked about it. I don't know how y'all feel about the National Guard coming to Memphis. Initial thoughts, Riri.
Now, my initial thoughts were why? Because y'all, he been touting that crime is down in Memphis. So what's coming for? You know? But we all know why they coming. And then, we were kind of talking about, like, you remember, I think we were talking about the Scorpion unit, and that, if they had, proper oversight and, the things, what they were supposed to be doing, enhance that and
Right.
and fund that. But come on, I don't.
I mean, the FBI, ATF, DEA, and all these other alphabets have been here doing their projects, and President Trump is taking credit for crime dropping in Memphis. So why not just extend their stay here versus bringing in the National Guard? I mean, if what you're doing behind the scenes and all these, so many guns don't got taken off the streets, so many people got arrested and this and that. So if that's the case, why not just keep doing that? And while you're doing that, let's properly train the people who you're coming here to help so they can continue to do the same thing after you leave. That will make perfect sense to me. But, I already told you what I think about the National Guard and why they're doing it. Justine, what do you have to say about it?
I would say when I first heard about it, I was definitely confused because of the same thing Sharita said. They were just boasting lower crime rates. Like you just stated, all of the roundups of the criminals. And so the timing was a little interesting. I see they've been trying to clean it up and explain it a little bit. As of today, I saw one news outlet posted, they were trying to clarify for the public that when they compared, say, what month is this, September? When they compared, when they were comparing crime rates, they were comparing it to about this time last year and the year before that and the year before that, but this same period. And so it really just sounds to me they were just playing with numbers anyway. But I wonder myself, like, what is the actual motive behind it? It is every city's mayor's job to ensure that they can handle the crime and they can deal with the crime. So I wonder, is this something that he feels he has to do to get more funding? I really don't really understand what it is. Now, do y'all know if they're here already? Because people are saying they're checking for insurance.
No, they're not here yet.
I was like, are they joking?
They're meeting next week to figure out when they're going to be coming. So no, they're not here yet.
Okay, I did receive word. I do a little work in the entertainment district, singing and stuff like that. And I did receive word that there were plainclothes people handing out cards to different business owners down there, telling them that they could reach out to them directly regarding, I guess, touting that they were a part of the National Guard or something like that. I'm not sure, but I'm a bit confused about it, and time will tell.
I think it's to what Margaret Crockett just said. The she feels it's bigger than crime, that it's immigration tactics. We have a large Hispanic community here, and I can just about guarantee that's who they're going to target. They're going to be on Jackson. They're going to be what's the other area they got? I know they
Well, they already reaching out to before they even get here to start making sure, you know, what needs to be done for them to be able to stay here. So they've been proactive, the Latinos and
Summer.
Mexicans.
Yeah, summer.
So
Yeah.
they like, hey. And my thing is, the people who here and not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or if they're, you know, crime and all of that, I'm all for those being
Absolutely.
detained and still go through the proper process. We still got a process that we have to follow. But it's when the people who aren't doing anything and just working, I don't think you should.
Call from.
Ray Austin.
To accept, press.
Turn down your listening device.
All right, let me turn it down. Okay.
All the way down.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. How y'all doing?
We doing good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Good to see you. Good to hear your voice again.
As normal.
I did want to chime in on the other gentleman's conversation, but I'm not going to even dignify that with a response. I'm just going to leave that alone because I could really just poke holes on everything he said. So I'll move on with you guys. You were talking about the National Guard supposedly coming here. Well, they're not doing really. If they come to the city of Memphis, they don't know where to go. They don't know how to go to Fraser or Whitehaven, and it's not even planned that far out. It costs a lot more to, you know, as far as the logistics on, you know, how we're going to set these troops up, how we're going to get the tanks escorted out to wherever, Hickory Hill or whatever. I'm just naming neighborhoods, wherever they're going. So they're not going to do anything but what they did in Los Angeles. If they come, I don't even think they're coming. In Los Angeles, they're just standing around. They clean up garbage in Los Angeles. That's what they did doing in Los Angeles.
And DC.
Cleaning up garbage.
And DC.
And in DC.
Yeah, DC. They just clean up garbage. They don't even know what to do. And then just say in DC, I mean in Los Angeles, it costs $2 million a day for them to be there.
Mm-hmm. But they ain't got no money.
Just to be there. So they don't even have enough food and water. They don't have anywhere to sleep. They're sleeping on the floor because the powers that be just said, okay, let's do this. And then everybody said, okay, let's give it a run. And then do what? They'll be running and running fast as they can in the wrong direction.
Right.
The only reason they're here is just to scare us. I mean, the only reason they would come is just to scare us. This is a red state. Tennessee is a red state, and we have the largest number of African Americans in a red state. So they want you to look at that. They want you to keep your eye on that. And it's just a diversion tactic. So just say they came to Memphis. It costs $2 million a day to be in Los Angeles. Just say they came to Memphis $1 million a day just to get them here. Once they get here, okay, now we're gonna figure out how you're gonna get fed, where you're gonna stay, all that. All the administration is doing is just throwing a bunch of stuff out. He's really trying to bankrupt this economy because all he's doing is just getting back at everybody that said something about him or was on his trial. He's just trying to get back at everybody. And this cabinet that he's had, the Department of Education, the Secretary of Education is run by WWE's wife, Vince McMahon. His wife is running the Department of Education.
Linda.
No formal education.
None.
Never ran any major business. She wasn't even running the WWE.
But we DEI.
Right.
Robert Kennedy Jr.
Joke.
is the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
A heroin
No
addict.
formal education. I mean, he didn't even take biology or science. Some of the nurses have been on here. He wouldn't last one day in one of your class, just the first day of class. He doesn't have any kind of formal medical education. He's just there because Trump just picked people that will do whatever he says. Robert Kennedy Jr. in high school was on heroin. In college, he was on heroin. When he got out of college, he was given a job to clerk for a judge, which was illegal because he hadn't even passed the bar exam. He didn't pass the bar exam. He was on heroin. And now he's the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services.
That ain't
That's
good.
crazy.
Yeah, that ain't good.
Cass Patel.
Oh, don't.
No, let's
please
get on
don't
Whiskey Pete. I'm taking up all my time. Whiskey Pete, he's over the Department of Defense. Drunk Whiskey Pete. He doesn't even know how to salute, girl. If you saw that video, boy,
I saw it.
You would laugh and feel real disrespectful how he saluted. He's over the Department of Defense. He wasn't even an anchor on CNN. I mean, on Fox News. He had a little show on the side. He wasn't even an anchor. He wasn't even smart enough to be an anchor on the news. So let me go back to the show. Let me go back to the truth. I was talking about the whole cabinet. I can run through the whole cabinet and tell you they're not qualified. But they want to say we're not qualified as far as DEI. They don't even know the definition of DUI. They use that as like a cuss word against us, or like they'll call us a leftist. That's the new N word. Leftist is the new N word. And so with the troops, they just out here just to scare people and to get spectators out there, and so we can be talking about, oh, the troops here and they were here and this and that. When they're really diverting from XAI out there in Whitehaven, where you're not gonna be able to breathe. You're gonna have hog water, and we're gonna pay higher MLG and W bills. They're out there pumping right now those gas turbines, and they're supposed to have 35 permits. They only got 10 permits. You gotta get 35 permits before you even start operating gas turbines. He only had 10. Yeah. And what's the city of Memphis in? Okay, go ahead, because they, all the jobs, what they say, all the jobs and all that. And Barry Young got on there today talking about Governor Bill Lee is sending us significant funds to operate the city. No way possible. He's just a lapdog. He ran on the Democratic Party because he knew he couldn't win as a Republican here in Tennessee. But the real problem is here in Memphis is that plant out there. And I know everybody says it's going to create jobs, but people are not going to be able to breathe. They're going to be drinking dirty water. Just like they put that Valero plant out there in South Memphis. It was supposed to go in Collierville, and so that was the easier route to run it straight to Collierville, but they spent all the extra money to divert it back to South Memphis because they didn't want it out there in Collierville.
1 minute, Ray.
Right there in South Memphis. So that's the real issue that we need to be concerned about. We don't need to be worried about the troops and none of that because they don't know what to do. They're just going to be standing around with their thumb in their ass. Excuse my language.
Yeah, we probably gonna take up that show here in the near future with Elon Musk out there, but we're a little pressed for time, Ray. But I appreciate.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But no, you good. I appreciate you calling in, man. I appreciate everything you be sending me every day. Sometimes I forget to like and share it, but I definitely see it every day, and I appreciate you for sending me that stuff, man.
Yeah. I just want you to read. I just want you to read it because most of the stuff I send you or I put on Facebook, they don't make it to the New York Times or the New Yorker or some of my other publications. So I post them on Facebook and just give free information. I appreciate you sharing and even reading it, Daryl. I really appreciate you. You're a good guy. Thank you for inviting me on your show. Thank you, Miss Justine, and Shona. I'm not because you must be some kin to me.
You know I am.
Thank y'all. I enjoy it.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Went to school with that guy almost my whole life. Where was we at? What was we talking about? National Guard troops. Now, we luckily for us, we have the opportunity to listen to someone who was originally from Memphis but now stays in DC that has lived through the National Guard experience, and we're going to take this time to hear what she has to say. And I'll say this. Some of y'all need to pay attention to what she's saying. This one kind of, it's a little bit long than what we normally play, but y'all just check this out.
It's just something that's been on my mind for like a week, and I was like, I should tell people about this. Maybe it can keep someone safe. Maybe it can keep a family together. I don't know. But I am super concerned about the National Guard in Memphis. As a person that has lived through this for like the last 5 weeks here in DC, it is something like you've never seen before. Things like you didn't think would occur in America will occur. When the National Guard comes to your city, it's not just the National Guard. They're going to come with HSI, which is Homeland Security, the FBI, ATF, DEA. And they will force the city of Memphis to enact the police department, and they will work alongside these people. So the first things you'll see is just the National Guard. They're gonna put up roadblocks on a lot of major city streets, and they will indiscriminately pull people over. Just everybody get over to the right, and they're there. They want to see your ID, your registration, your insurance. Who are you? They will search your car. They will ask you to get out. And it may not seem legal, but under this federal thing, it's absolutely legal. So if your registration isn't right, you got bogus tags, you got drive outs, you will be pulled over. And in such, many people who are in those circumstances may have small bench warrants. They may have tickets or a suspended license. They are going to, if it's arrestable, they will arrest you. And it's going to feel like harassment because it is harassment. They will target illegal immigrants, and they are looking for black men with guns. They are looking for black men with a little weed in their pocket. They are looking for black men that have any outstanding warrants, that are targeted in any investigations. This is their time to find you. So you will see marshals, ATF, people coming into high crime like apartment complexes or neighborhoods. And it's all in the morning, it's in the evening, it's the element of surprise. And they really try to antagonize the people. And also it will put a damper on nightlife. It will put a damper on going out to eat, because you can be sitting in a regular restaurant minding your business, and in comes the FBI and all their equipment, and it's just, again, something you've never seen before. So I encourage people, do not ride dirty. I don't care if it's legal to have your gun. You might want to leave it, tuck it, make sure you got it in the trunk, the box, locked, because they will find any and everything. And it's very scary. It's a very scary thing to have mass people come into your neighborhood and police it in such an aggressive way. So I just kind of wanted to share my experience. I do know that people feel like crime in like a DC, a Baltimore, Memphis, Chicago, just out of control, and we got to do something with the YNs. All true. But the way this administration go about it is so hostile. And I know my people, I know Memphians, and I just beg people not to be incited by this. And you're not going to see a lot of people that look like you and that can relate to you. These are going to be people they've imported from Mississippi, Texas, Homeland Security from Florida. And these are people that have a certain mindset.
She laid it out for us.
And that's it.
So you know exactly what's about to happen. And I'm gonna answer Chris' question. Why would that bother law-abiding citizens? It's not a bother. It's a distraction. It's a what do you call it?
Inconvenience.
Yeah, inconvenience. Because it's enough bad stuff going on that you ain't got to pull all this over. And the one thing that she said is they're so aggressive. And see, that's my point.
Absolutely.
You know, if you're just doing a normal check, you don't have to be aggressive. You're gonna find something, some kind of way. So what's the point in being aggressive with a law-abiding citizen? And it goes back to what I've been saying as far as the National Guard. What they're doing, and you have to know history. And if you don't know history, if you don't know what the Germans did to the Jews, and you haven't researched that, you don't understand the tactics that they're using are identical to what they did in Germany. What they do, they get you used to this. They get you used to seeing the National Guard. They get you used to seeing mass people getting out of unmarked vehicles and just snatching somebody up and taking them away, and you never see them again.
Absolutely.
They once you get used to that, when you see it, you're less likely to react to it. So that's the problem I have with it. Again,
Desensitizing.
when we talked about we know it's a crime problem in Memphis. I ain't gonna try to deny it and say that it's not, because it is. But we've discussed ways to improve it. And if President Trump has sent FBI and DEA and ATF and all of these and more Tennessee Highway Patrol and all of that, and it's lowering the crime here, keep doing that. Just keep doing that. You don't have to bring in an intimidation force to get stuff done. Now, I'm gonna get off my high horse. Rita, you got something? Here's the other thing that I'm gonna say. The inconvenience that it's about to cause, everybody who wants them to be here, I don't want to hear no complaints out of you.
No.
Right.
Just saying, I don't want to hear
Right.
nothing. They pulled me off. I was late for work. I don't want to hear none of that.
Absolutely. Because it just does not take off. If anybody believes that President Trump cares about black crime, you're crazy. That's furthest from why they're being sent out to these cities. If you really believe it, please, they could care less if we kill each other. They don't care. That's not what that's about. This is a money grab. Like you said, you pulling over folks giving tickets. You pulling over folks who, like I said, and it's not, and I hate when people say, well, just don't do this, or just have your license, and have you this, and have you that. Of course, you're supposed to have those things if you're operating a motor vehicle. We know that. But the thing is, those are not the people that are running up in our houses. Those are not the people that are shooting in the middle of the day across the interstate. Those are not that's not who you're targeting. You're targeting the law-abiding. That's what we mean when we say you're targeting the law-abiding citizens who are not the killers, who are not toting big guns in the middle of the street shooting. That's what we're talking about. And if anybody doesn't understand that, it's because you're out of touch, and because it doesn't affect you. And because it doesn't affect you, you can be matter of fact about, oh, just have your license, oh, just have your this, how you have your that. We're not. That's not what we're talking about. We're not saying, oh yeah, just let people drive without license and drive without insurance. We're not saying that. We're saying don't pull over. Don't. That's not how. Yes, we know that some people are caught. Bad people are caught with traffic stops. We know that, but that's not what this is about. And and we all know that, and naysayers know it too.
Mm-hmm.
Justine, you got a new fan. Thomas seems to be a
Oh,
big
yeah?
fan. yours. Yeah, Thomas a big fan of yours.
Well, thank you, Thomas. I wanted to like share. I don't know if y'all know, but it has been published that Trump did have a meeting with the CEO of Union Pacific days ago, Jim Vena. And one thing that is known that Jim Vena has a strong interest to close a deal in which Memphis is very key to that deal. It's a lot of mileage, of tracks in Memphis that he's wanting to control because this is seen as the gateway between the East and the West. And I honestly, the moment I saw that, I wondered, if this was yet another. I mean, it's serving multiple purposes. I think, like as you said, to just really scare people and kind of put some type of fear but it could also be a whole nother distraction while these back office deals are going on and they're really trying to do and in a city that's majority Black, the only way to do it without Black approval is to bully, or you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
So that's just my something to think about.
I'm gonna say something that I ain't never saw this not to be true. Follow the money.
That's it.
Anytime you follow the money, you figure out a lot of stuff. We're over our normal hour and a half. So I want to
We
go
knew we
back.
were gonna go over today.
Yeah, and then we didn't have Terry on here, so I messed up, y'all. So let me try to do Terry's job right quick. Make sure you guys share this with everybody. We picked up one new subscriber, Riri, so we at 280, I think. But y'all like, share, and subscribe. Y'all can check out the QR code below Riri. See, Terry do this so much better than me.
I know, right? You got it down pat.
Yeah, but like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Now, don't just hit the bell. You got to hit it twice and then hit all. And then every time we come online, you will be notified that we're online and you can come check us out. And we ask everybody, share with 5 friends this week. Just share it with them. You can't make them subscribe, but we're trying to build our audience. We welcome dialogue from anybody. If it's something that you want to talk about, if we find it interesting, we're willing to, just like Miss Justine here, we was like, hey, yeah, you want to come on? Let's come on. So this probably her first time being, seeing the show, but we welcomed her on, and I think she did a great job
today. She did a great job. I told you we were gonna need her.
So thank y'all for having me.
Oh, no problem. So y'all make sure y'all get our numbers up. We had a lot of people in here tonight. So like, share, send this video out to as many people as you can, and let's be at 280. Let's be at 285 next week when we come back. As we always say, the main thing for us is always, if one person learned anything, then we accomplished what we were setting out to do. I like the dialogue. Even when we have people that we don't agree with, I still like to afford them the opportunity to say what they have to say, because at some point they're gonna say something that I might agree with. Thomas, so far, I don't know. You might have said one thing.
Nothing.
Yeah, but I appreciate him taking time out of his schedule to watch us and to call in and to go back and forth with some dialogue. Once we get the not yelling over each other and all of that, I think we'll have more constructive conversation. I want to thank my boy Crystal for joining in. We got, I don't know, what is this, artist? Y'all help me out. Artist KLY Divine. Huh?
Let me find it.
I can't see it anymore.
It's gone.
Look at the 819 mark.
Oh, I see right here.
First time, I think. I don't remember seeing
Yeah.
that name before, so that's the first time. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like and share. Samari999. I think I know who that is. First time though. Who else? Margaret, that's Patty Duke, big Dallas Cowboy fan. Thanks for signing in with us. Thomas, of course. Chris, of course. Randolph, of course. Man, Randolph, oh man, look, Randolph, he probably one of the biggest guys I know because he stay in the gym, but he one of the nicest guys I know as well. And I mean, his intellect is, I could kind of listen to him all day long. Who else we got in here? Lisa Holloman. Yeah, see you at the picnic. Ray Austin, of course.
Margaret. Did you say Margaret already?
Yeah, Margaret. That's Patty Duke. Keonta Lee. They say they subscribe, so we should be at 281. Am I pronouncing that right? Keonta Lee. Okay. This is my first time seeing this comment. No problem.
Might be Keontae.
You know who that
Might
is?
be Keontae. We work on music together.
Yeah, because when they came in, they spoke to you first. So that might be who it is.
Okay, I never even saw it.
I didn't either. I'm just not seeing it. So hey, we got doing a lot. Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. She came on the show and brought somebody. What? And they like, share, and subscribe already. Thank you.
Thank you, Keontae.
Terry, you got to step your game up. Samari Redmond, I know who that is. That's my possibly future son-in-law. Okay. Is that it? Let me see.
I think that's it.
Jerome, he called in. John Ella, she always here every week. Who else? John Ella, Pat, first one
and
in.
Monica, they've been
Anita.
on. They just hadn't commented.
Who?
Quisa and Monica.
Okay. Jerome, Bonita.
That's right, Nita. Nita was here. Came on.
Nita, yeah, she was doing her thing. I think that's it. Hey, I when I say I appreciate you guys, I mean I really do appreciate y'all taking out some time to come on and listen to us run our mouth about what we think is right and wrong in the world of politics, in the world of matters of the heart. We got to get the sports show going a little bit more. But we really appreciate you guys. I mean, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and I love when you comment, and I love when you bring up good points. Jackie. I don't know how long she stayed on, but she came in the house for a minute. Monique Aaron, that's a new person too. I remember seeing that name before.
Oh, yeah. I saw that name too.
Yeah, so we got a lot of new people. I hope all of y'all subscribed. I hope all of y'all subscribe to the channel. Let me go.
We're gonna go see. We're gonna go check.
Let me go check right quick and see if we got some numbers up. You see how excited I am about it?
I know, right?
I'm excited about it.
You should be.
We getting there.
Oh!
What the world?
284, baby. 284. 284.
We almost hit that 285.
Hey, so y'all know what that means. We looking for 290. Y'all see, y'all probably like, that's all. Look, we really appreciate people subscribing and all of that. I promise you we do. We really appreciate it. So even when it's one person, we're just as excited. Justine, how you feel about your first show with us?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like literally every viewpoint, insightful. You know, I'm a firm believer that arguments are not about winning; they're about learning. You know what I mean? So literally everybody gave me some perspective, made me think harder about something. You know what I mean? I really appreciate you all and everybody who tuned in.
Well, I'm gonna say this: you have an open invitation to join us as
Anytime.
much as you want to, even on the matters of the heart. Now, see, she will be. I'm gonna tell you why she got a husband, so she will be good on matters of the heart. We need that
Right.
perspective. We
Oh,
need
yes.
that married female. We need that.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but yeah, I mean, I appreciate everybody. I could say that all night long because I really mean it. But we like 15 minutes over the time that we normally like to get off of here. You know, we had a good conversation, so I ain't mad about to go. Quisha, she chimed in. So I don't mind going over when we have this type of conversation, and hopefully you guys will tune in next week. I don't know what the show is gonna be. We might go back to
Oh, we
Kirkwood
were
and
supposed to do our part 2
yeah, we're
of
supposed to do the
last
part
week.
2 about last week, so we might go back to that. That'll be matters of the heart. Where and Justine, that was what was it?
That now,
Getting
Justine, I
married in the
hope,
church or something
yeah,
like that.
I hope you can come back for that one. We were talking about
Okay.
single women in the church and about marriage in the church and things like that. So it was very good, and we
Okay.
were like, we got to do a part 2.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I think you'll
Well,
like
look,
it.
I'm just gonna add you to the link. I'm gonna add you to the itinerary every week, and
And you just chime in if you
just
can.
chime in if you can. And I really appreciate you coming in and filling in for Terry this week. Great
For
show,
sure.
everybody. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening, and we'll be back next week, 7 p.m. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Double
Peace.
clutch, double clutch.